I think that's true at the moment because there aren't enough grammar schools, and if there were more grammar schools, then the standards for entry would be lower, as they are in Northern Ireland. If we look at comprehensive schools, we can see that it's wealth that determines where children go to school, because they're able to buy a house in a very wealthy area, and those children then are very privileged, whereas poorer children are likely to go to less well-performing comprehensives in poorer areas. Well, this has been a policy of the last government. I don't think I've known a government that hasn't said, excuse me, that they want to make every local school a good local school. The problem is that that's not a completely practical solution. We have to give children who are more able, who come from poorer backgrounds, an academic route, a way out. And that isn't happening right now. We have one of the most unfair systems that exists. When we go back to the 1960s, when the grammar school system was dismantled, we have clear evidence that after that, many children who were brighter and more able were not able to get through the system and to go to the top universities like Oxford and Cambridge. They weren't able to break through, and that's happening today. There are many children who are from more affluent families, who are of lower ability, who are doing much better with the opportunities that they're given. Well, I believe that we can put in measures to ensure that children who perhaps didn't get in at a certain point, there is another point of entry. Certainly in the German system, the gymnasium there, the Germans have all sorts of changes of government, but the system hasn't changed. They have an academic route for those who are highly able academically, and a more occupational or vocational route for children who are less academically able or have skills in other directions. The French do the same. They have lycées for high-performing academic children. I believe if we have a grammar school in every town, we won't actually have a situation where we're going back to a full grammar system. There will be a range of educational provision, and some of that educational provision will be of a more occupational, more vocational nature. That isn't a failure. That's just recognising that some people's abilities lie in an academic area, and we shouldn't just be allowing children from more affluent backgrounds to have this. This should be something that should be available to every child. Well, there are no testing processes which are completely secure. I accept that, because testing IQ is incredibly difficult and complex. However, we can test for certain things. We can, to some extent, ensure that we are getting the right children in the right kind of educational provision. And that can be, as I say, when children do not get it immediately, it could be, as the Germans do and the French, if they think they've got it wrong, the child goes later. We don't have to have it, this is a once and for all test that never ever can be reversed in a child's educational progress. It could be repeated testing through to check that the child's in the right educational provision.